why we have this piles of sticks also at the other field. So these are habitats for the Mauswiesel, weasel. A weasel, they are like the small animals which hunt mice. They are quite effective because they can get a blood rush, and then they can kill up to 50 mice per day. If they get a rush, they just start killing them, and they kill much more than they can eat. And they fit into their holes, yeah. So, but you have to have these wood piles where they can populate. So there's from a Swiss Research Institute. There's a publication, a nice handout journal which you can find on the internet. Wiesel Fördermaßnahmen, I think it's called, and they describe how you can populate the weasel at your own space. So and they are constructed in a special way. They make we make kind of a block wood house on the ground, and then we put branches on top. These are for that's where they breed. Yes. So and then they go out in the area, and there they need also like small stone piles which we put into the agroforestry lines. I'm happy when I see them, and I know they're there now. Here I don't know if they are there, but on the other farm they are. So here this agroforestry system is a little bit different. We have just one tree row every 15 meters. And then on this side there's also 15 meters of cereal field, and then we have just one tree row, and the tree row is to one side. We have 1.5 meters, and to the other side we have, I think, 3 meters, or 1, 2, yeah, I think, or maybe it's even 4 meters. I'm not sure now. It's 3 or 4 meters to this side. And here we have like our main crop in the first 4 rows is apple for direct consumption, or for like we also cooling the apples. So we crafted them ourselves. We have 20 old apple varieties from the area which have good resistance abilities, and they are crafted on semi-strong growing. Do you know crafting? You're familiar with crafting, why you do that? Yeah. So here we have the Unterlage, the rootstock, and then we have crafted the tree. This was crafted last spring, and this year we planted it here. So with this we want to produce all the apples for around 300 people, like for a whole year. So we have around 70% of the apples which are planted are storage apples, apple varieties, which we will store in a cool room until May maybe. Yeah. And then in between, like, and then in the lower rows there are apple for cider wine planted. So I have a friend who produces cider wine, and with him together we selected nice varieties for cider wine from northern France and from England, because there we have a long history in growing cider wines, and they have a certain aroma profile. So these are harvested for cider wines, and then in between we always planted Johannisbeeren. So we have different varieties from these planted by harvesting date. So that's actually always plant also the apples. They are planted by harvesting date in a row. We have 20 varieties here, and I think 15 varieties for the cider wine. And we always have 5 to 10 from one variety, and they are planted, sorted by harvesting time. So we start there harvesting the first apples, and then we go through the rows and harvest them later on. And then the berries, they are for the first years also to grow underneath. In the first 2 rows we have Beere, which is a Lunicera kamchatica. It's a berry from Russia, which is the earliest ripening berry. It's ripening here. It's ripening in the beginning of June, although it's called berry. But yeah. And then in the lower one we have Stachelbeere. I don't know. Gooseberry. Yeah, that was gooseberry. So and then here, that's actually very special because we planted the fast-growing trees in the same row. So here there's the poplar, the elder. There's another poplar. Then we also seeded trees. So there is a seeded maple in here. So there are really densely seeded and planted trees in the row, and we also seeded special plants like kreuzblättrige Wolfsmilch. It's a poisonous plant for mice, so we hope to press the mice out of the row. And then here we plant topinambur, and I hope they are attracting the mice and putting them out of the row, but I don't know how it's working. But that's kind of a biological approach to have here seeded the kreuzblättrige Wolfsmilch, which I don't know the Latin name, and then pressing them out here. The topinambur is especially for producing mulch. So we will, like now it's not fully established, but if it's better established next year, we can, I think even now, we will mow it and then we will mulch it here on the field. And you see we mulch quite.
Just stay in and grow again the next year.
Yeah, maybe we will harvest some also with our potato harvester, but they will stay here for a long time and will always produce mulch for this line. And then you see we have a lot of mulch which we spread it here. We constructed something for a compost spreader, so it makes 2 lines. And then we spread all this wood chips on both sides, which we got cheaply because it's the big compost municipal composting facility. They are sieving the compost before they are selling it, and the stuff which is too big goes out, and then we can mulch it here, which we got for free, which is quite nice. I mean, we still had to pay the luggage, the transportation here, which was 4,000 euros. But it was I think we mulched 300 cubic meters on this field, so it's quite a lot. Yeah. And yeah, the trees which are growing here, they will be also branched, so they will have a high stem, and then we want to pollard them over the apple trees, which is a bit crazy maybe, but the apple trees, they actually grow, if you search for their natural habitat, they grow in the forest on lightnings, where they have higher trees which are growing next to them higher. So actually they're not supposed to stand in full sun. So actually they need part shade. They grow better in part shade and they're more healthy, I think. And they also need a soil biome which is more fungal dominant. Because the problem is, normally we grow them just by themselves, but not with other forest trees which support actually a good development of the soil structure for them. So that's why we grow other trees with them, and then we have also rows where we don't have other trees with them, and we will check if this makes a difference in the health of the plant and also in the yield. Yeah, that's actually this field is designed with Keyline. Yeah, so like I checked for the contour lines and try to spread the water by the lines of the trees in a more even way, so that the wetter parts get a little bit more dry and the drier parts a little bit more wet. So here it's eine Kuppe, how do you say Kuppe? A ridge. So we try to have a line in a way that it's falling a little bit to the ridge, 1%, but it's an average. So it's difficult because you have like there's not just there are different parameters which impact how I orient the tree lines. Also the shape of the whole field together, because I don't think the benefits of the keyline are so big that I can just ignore how much Vorgewende turning space I need. So if I would have just more turning space and then have a perfect keyline pattern, I don't think it's a benefit